Now, there have been a few controversies on the V40, that after LG ended their relationship with B&O, that headphone output is worse than on the V30, or that the amp isn't as powerful. The frustrating thing about assertions like these, audio is something we can test really easily when we have a headphone jack. But folks keep acting like their feelings about their ears are somehow an objective data point. First, a bit of backstory. LG made a lot of news partnering with B&O on the V20, but many regions around the world never got B&O branded hardware, like my V20 on Verizon. The hardware didn't change. The quad DACs have all been made by ESS, their Sabre DACs, but supposedly B&O helped influence some of the tuning, and I don't know what that means. Moving to the V30, mine is an AT&T unit, no labels or software pointing to B&O. I honestly don't know what influence B&O had on LG design. Measuring output on the V40, comparing it against output on the V30, the biggest difference I can find is the V40 volume stepping seems to have been redefined. On the V30, step 35 is bordering on a little too loud for me, whereas step 35 on the V40 is perfectly comfy. There's about a 3 decibel difference between the two phones at step 35. Maximizing the output of both phones though, the difference in amp output almost vanishes. The V30 comes in a half a decibel louder, which is scientifically measurable, but closing in on my recording hardware's margin of error. I can't say I'm worried about a half dB at levels which would blow out my hearing very quickly. It would seem the V40 volume stepping scoops up more dramatically as you approach the max, and that volume steps in the mid-range are smaller than on the V30. I like this. On a phone this powerful, where a couple clicks in the wrong direction can have a significant impact on output, the V40 gives you and your ears a bit more of a safety net. The control in the volume range most people will listen through is a little more nuanced. As to people commenting on soundstage or the mids feeling duller or any other number of aesthetic concerns, the V30 and 40 sound exceedingly similar to my ears on a variety of different headphones once you normalize for the difference in volume reporting. And this is somewhat backed up by studying the frequency response curve of each phone. You see, there are subtle variations in EQ that are so small they can barely be accounted for on my studio hardware. What is that? That right there, a 1/100th of a decibel bump around 10K? You're probably not gonna hear that. I really think controversies like these are too easy to blow out of proportion. The V40 performs almost identically to the G7, which is a scientific but almost uncurable improvement over the V30. That's my analysis, and I'm sticking with that until I see more evidence from a reputable source. Who am I kidding? These are LG phones. No one's really gonna test these things.